What's going on, everyone? So, tomorrow is officially extension day for De'Aaron Fox. Now, I want to talk about this because there has been a lot of just like rumors and reports and just a lot of noise about what's going to happen. Right? Is De'Aaron Fox just going to walk in, sign the 4-year, $229 million contract, and that's that and be done? Or are the Spurs going to offer him less than the max? Is he going to accept that? Are they going to offer him less years? Because there's been talks about them like, yeah, they might give him the max, but they might want to give him less years, kind of line it up to when all their other guys are going to start getting paid and stuff. Because you got to keep in mind, after this year, right, De'Aaron Fox, yes, his contract's going to kick in, but also Wemby's going to be due a contract. So now you're going to have 2 max guys on your roster with Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle and then Dylan Harper, right? Jeremy Sohan needs a new contract, all of that, right? Like, so again, I've said it. People make fun of me when I say it, but it's a reality, right? This team is going to get very expensive very fast. It's not like one of these things where it's like, oh, 3 years from now, everyone's going to get paid. No, we're talking within the next year. You're going to have 2 max contracts plus, Devin Vassell's $27 million, Jeremy Sohan, whatever you're paying him, $15 to $20 million, right? Like, this team immediately, as soon as next season, could be an apron team, well into the apron, depending on how contracts go and things line up and all that stuff. So it's going to be very interesting because bare minimum, I mean, De'Aaron Fox's first year is going to be around 49 to 51 million, somewhere in that range, depending on how they structure it. Right? So it's really going to boil down to like, what is De'Aaron Fox willing to do? Is he willing to take a discount? Okay, if so, what is that discount? Like, I don't expect him to take 20 million less, but would he be willing to take 5 million a year less? Right? So instead of 229, maybe it's 209. Right? And you're kind of structuring it and timing up. Maybe you're kind of giving him the bulk next year. Right? Maybe you're structuring it to where it's like one of those things where each year it declines. Each year it drops, 3 million or whatever. Right? So maybe he's taking a little bit of a discount. Maybe he's willing to take, like I said, $10 million or $20 million over X amount of years, right? So again, you're paying him $209 and maybe, that'd be what? Let's call it like 47 or whatever $million. Let's say you're paying him like 52 the first year, right? And it's like, and it just declines. So that way, as like Wemby comes up, like you get a little haircut, and then somebody else comes, little haircut, somebody else comes, little haircut, right? And that could be beneficial. Right? And I've talked about this too, right? Like, could these potential negotiations end up leading to a trade? Right? Like if De'Aaron Fox is like, hey, I chose you guys, I forced my way here, I wanted to be here, right? And now you guys don't want to give me the max. Now you guys don't want to, or give me the max years, right? Like now you're trying to like play with me, like, all right, fine, then just trade me to a team that's willing to do it. Right? Like, does he feel kind of slighted by that? Because you never know how somebody's going to, hey man, are you willing to take 20 million less? Are you willing to take a year less? Whatever. Right? He's not 24 where it's like, yeah, okay, well, fine. Like, I'll take a year less because I'm going to get a huge contract next year, especially with the new CBA, all of that. Like, is De'Aaron Fox a max player? Like, that's something that the Spurs are going to have to ask themselves. That's something that, they're going to have to really figure out. Like, is De'Aaron Fox a max player? Because if you give him the max, you have to find another team that believes that he is too. You have to find another team that trusts that, like, hey, De'Aaron Fox, he's that guy. He's one of your 2 best players in all, on your team. Like, if him and you have another guy, you can win a championship. There was a lot of question with him even in Sacramento, right? About him being able to contribute to winning and being a part of a winning team. And is he your first or second option on a championship contender, right? Like, those were honest questions, right? Because not like he had a ton of success. He had like one good season there and fizzled out in the first round, right? And then went and got traded to the San Antonio Spurs, and the San Antonio Spurs didn't give up anything, literally nothing. They kept their entire core intact, and Spurs had a worse record when he came, right? He contributed, he made them worse, right? Based on win shares, win percentage, right? Like they won less games as when they added De'Aaron Fox. Now, as time progressed, that didn't help, Wemby goes down and Fox and all that stuff. But still, like, even when he first came, It wasn't like they were, because they had, 15 games or whatever it was where they were good with him and Wemby, and they weren't winning. They were losing more than they had won until then. Now, granted, it's easier, and I've talked about this in the past in other videos and stuff, on other channel stuff. Right? Like, it's easier to integrate a role player, right? Who it's like, his role, he understands his role, he's played his role, all these places. It's like, hey, you know what you've done your entire career? Yeah, just do that here. Right? And it's easy, clean, boom, done. Right? It's very hard to integrate a star, and it's even harder to integrate a guy that's used to being the guy, which De'Aaron Fox was. Why is that so hard? Because he's used to playing a certain role. He's used to getting a certain amount of shot attempts. He's used to making all the decisions, having the ball in his hand in clutch time and in close games and this, that, and the other, right? Like, stars have this certain expectation, especially when they are like the franchise guy. He was the franchise guy for the Sacramento Kings. He's going to a team in the Spurs who wants to be one of the franchise guys with the San Antonio Spurs. Now they got Dylan Harper. Now they got, Stephon Castle. They got all these things. And it's like, the Spurs are going to have to decide, right? You might think De'Aaron Fox is worth 4 years, $229 million, but do the Spurs, right? Now, maybe, I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just presenting all the scenarios, all the problems that come to this. Right? Like, because again, you pay him 50 plus million a year and it doesn't work out, you may end up being stuck. And you don't only have, the Spurs shouldn't only be thinking about this year. It's not one of those scenarios where it's like, hey, we'll worry about it later. No, like, later will be here sooner than you think. Right? Because if Dylan Harper takes strides, right, like, what do? Especially if you can't trade De'Aaron Fox. Well, you're going to bring De'Aaron Fox off the bench? You pay him $50 million, you can bring him off the bench. Dylan Harper's just going to come off the bench for the first 7 years of his career? Right? Like, I understand the whole Manu thing. That's a very rare. There's a reason everyone uses Manu as the example, even fans on other teams and other organizations and, even NBA insiders, all of them. They all use, like, he needs to be more like Manu, right? Like, why? Because it's rare, right? Like, to find a guy like that could have been, a starting two guard, one of the best handful of two guards in the league at the time, and could have started on pretty much every team in the league going like, it's fine, I'll just come off the bench. And I'll take discounts along the way, and I'll do this, that, and the other. Like, not everyone's willing and open to do that. Dylan Harper's coming in, looked at as a franchise game-changing guard. So, again, these are all decisions the Spurs are going to have to make beginning tomorrow. And it's going to come fast. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.